Hey everyone. I want to do a real quick analysis here on Chainlink, mostly because there's a lot of buzz and a lot of hype about it, and kind of want to do my usual sanity check on this and just kind of take a look and see where things are going. So I'm actually looking at Chainlink on a log scale because if I get out of the log scale, what you'll notice is there's a lot of consolidation down here, but I can still pull out a one wave out of this consolidation down here, and then moving myself into a three, which is, historically it's supposed to be much larger than a wave one. And this one is, and then we've been consolidating here, and then we're moving up again. So let's just take a look here, and again, not a whole lot of USD trading on Chainlink. This has only been live on Binance since January of 2019. And of course, a lot of the move up that we saw in Chainlink, and you can see the top on this is at June 29th, which was just a couple days after when Bitcoin topped at 13.8. We've been consolidating down. We've had a nice impulsive move up. So this is kind of what I've been looking for Bitcoin to do for a while, right? Since we broke the level on Bitcoin at 9,000, we've moved down to 8,000, maybe 7,900. I've been looking for a move similar to this happening. Of course, it hasn't happened with Bitcoin, but Chainlink has seemed to do what I would like to see Bitcoin do. So seeing this as at the very bottom here, moving up to wave one and down to wave two, and then looking at an impulsive structure getting us up here to 454 or so. The high there actually is 458 and a 458.26, and moving ourselves down. All right, so now, the question is, was this the bottom? I do believe we had a good reactionary pivot off of that. You can tell because we had the Darth Maul candle here. So let me kind of zoom in just a little bit and squat this down just a little bit here when we start to take a look and see where we're going to be potentially going for our next move up. So looking at this down here, we're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, and then a 4, and then we're going to be moving up to about $3.50 by my estimation. Right now we're currently sitting at $2.37. I do think we have further to go. I do believe we have further down to go, looking at about $2.09 down to about $1.92 or so. I did mention something on the server a couple days ago that Chainlink is probably going to go down to about $1.95. And I would still maintain that that probably is going to be what happens here. So I'm seeing this as a corrective move down. I'm seeing, again, taking a look at our geometry here, where we have a little bit of a trend line that has been formed, and we could turn that into a channel where we can see that moving down to a lower time frame, maybe a 30-minute time frame. Taking a look at this, we're more than likely going to see a continued move to the downside. Again, we're going to be looking at about $1.95. I'm going to make some adjustments to this guy right here, pull it in just a little bit, get that. So channel looks pretty good. I don't like my black border back here, so let me just clean this up a little bit, get rid of that background. Okay, perfect. All right, so we've got basically from up here, we've got a 1 hit on the top, a 2, and a hit on the top again here, and then I'm expecting us to come down here again and hit this 3. And if we take a look from a time perspective here, as far as the time that it's taking for us to get from this point to this point, we're looking at potentially all the way out here at about October 22nd before we potentially get down to this area. And that seems to be a pretty decent amount of time for us to get there. So what I kind of expecting to see, of course, we've already gotten this, probably going to do a little bit something like this. And then finally we're going to break down below, hit that, and then move our way down here. And I'm just, of course, just guessing, right, that this is what this is going to look like. I'm taking that based off of basically the price action that happened here. We found support here at the median line and then finally consolidated at the median line before we broke up above it. And now I'm saying that we're likely going to come back down here to about $1.95 or so. I'm still going to maintain $1.95 is about where we're going to end up. Maybe we only get down here to about $1.99, but somewhere along these lines, I do expect us to retest $2 and likely dip below it, even if it is for a moment or two. before we finally move back up out of there. So let's just take a real quick look here, going to a 4-hour chart. Let me get rid of all of these drawings that I just threw on here, get rid of even the Fibonacci retracements. Let's take a look. I'm going to hide my Bollinger Bands. We're just going to look at candles. We're just going to look at candles. I'm even going to get off of the log scale. I'm going to pay attention to what this looks like and see if I can find some clear support and resistance lines to pay attention to. Of course, I can see we have candle closure here, then we have we have support here after we blew through this resistance level. So I'm going to pay attention to this level right here, which is again right at $2. So $2 was resistance, $2 became support, and support again, and support again, and support again before we broke through. We broke through, we found it as resistance here. We had a really gnarly reaction off of that to take us down here to the bottom of this trading range. And I am going to acknowledge this trading range right here where we had this top there to this bottom here. So I'm going to call this a trading range, which is actually now going to be our support that we're going to be paying attention to. So I'm going to highlight that in green. It does correlate with this trading range over here, so I could actually extend this out a bit, and more than likely this is going to be yeah, this fits in quite nicely. So this was our resistance, broke through, found support, and then this was a trading range for a while, and then we've had that support there, and then when we were inside of it again, we found resistance, and then support again down here at the bottom, which is about $1.50. So 50-cent range, 25% move down below the $2 mark. And then again, consolidation up here at the top of it, finally broke through, and now we're looking down here. Now this area right here is also fairly important. I'll go ahead and highlight this as well because we had decent reaction off of it over here. This again, that's at $2.17. We found support here. Of course, it went down to test the $2 mark, and then it moved up. We consolidated here, found support here 1, 2, 3 times, and then it was resistance. And then that resistance became support down here, which is why I'm fairly confident that this is going to be a decent pivot for us. I'm not saying that we're not going to come back down here to retest this because I do think that we will, but I am expecting us to again come down to that from this channel here. I'll go ahead and throw this in here again. Going to be looking for this channel to be tested again. We may come down here again. This is at $2 or so to retest this. So looking for this to be sort of a 5-wave move, or this, again, we've got an A, B, C, D, and then coming down here for the E. And it's very possible this may take longer and it may only come down to the median line. So we may stay in this smaller channel throughout the entire duration. Nonetheless, I really do expect us to come down, at least retest $2. I would be looking, if I was going to put a trade on something like this, let's just go ahead and take a look and see what this might look like. I would be probably setting a trade right at maybe $2.02. I would be looking for a longer term target, at least up here to $2.95. I would be looking to stop out of this trade approximately $1.85. And let me show you where I'm getting that from. So going to be looking at $1.85. Of course, this trade is going to take some time to span out. But I'm looking at this area right here, which is also going to be support and resistance. So we had lots of resistance here, broke through it, had a hefty rejection once it tried to pass through $2, but nonetheless it was resistance again. We broke through it, finally came through. We found our support here before we had a little bit of a parabola up here to $3 from $2. So again, that was a 50% move up from where it broke through at $2. And again, if you were in the server, I was talking about this. I said this is going to break through $2 and this is going to fly. And it did. It went all the way up to almost $3. And now we're correcting. And now once again, I'm saying that we're going to come down here to about $2 again, and I'm expecting to find decent support here, because really once we flew through $2, we never came really back down and tested that as support. I'm expecting that to happen, and this $1.85 stop loss is to cover wicking action that's going to go below $1.90 or so, because again, support was created after it was resistance for so long, and we can take a look at almost this entire trading range. We had resistance, 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 and then a try and break through, and then massive resistance that took us down here to basically to fill bags of long positions right at the bottom of this liquidity pool, and came back up, found it a support again. And so I would say if we break through this level, then that's going to be, a trade invalidation. This is the trade. Um, of course, not financial advice. This is my opinion. You're responsible for your own trades, yada, yada, yada. But I would be looking to buy somewhere around $2. I would layer some buys between about $1.95 and $2.02. And I would be looking to get out of the trade at about $1.85. And I would start to sweat about $1.90. So $1.90, if we start to trade hourly, so around $1.90, I might reconsider and go ahead and get out early. But on a 4-hour, if we penetrate down here at about $1.85 on a 4-hour time frame, that is not looking good at all, and I would be looking to get out of that trade. In that range, because it would signify that we are going to go much lower, very likely to go back down to $1.50 or even lower at that point. Be looking for $1.50, maybe even all the way down here to about $1.13. But this is a huge markup in price that was it was supported. We had a nice huge move up here to $4.58 back in June, as we know. So for us to do this does look like a mini Bitcoin. So it is very possible this does break down, but this is going to be your trade to buy and then to sell. I'm going to continue to keep this target up here at about $3 because this was resistance up here. It was, sorry, support rather, support, and then we broke through, but then we fell down. So these levels are areas that I'm going to be paying attention to. Again, that's about $2.75 to $3. If we do break above $3, I'll be looking to, still get out of the position here about $3, but then watching whatever reactions have up here. If we have a bullish breakout and a retest of $3, I might be looking to buy back in at $3. But at this point, this is the trade to be looking to get out. So that's my thoughts on Link. So again, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Otherwise,